Have you ever had a day where you wanted to speak English, but you didn't? Not because you were busy, not because you forgot, but because something inside you said, maybe tomorrow. And tomorrow came, and the same thing happened again. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important right away. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not bad at English. You're human.
Yes, and I want to add this very gently. Many learners think the problem is their grammar or vocabulary, but most of the time, the real problem is fear mixed with pressure. You feel you must speak perfect English, so your brain chooses silence instead. Silence feels safer, but silence is also what keeps you stuck.
Exactly. And today, we're not here to talk about hard rules or long study plans or complicated systems. We're here to talk about one simple habit, just one. A small daily habit that can quietly change how you feel about speaking English, not in one day, but over time, in a very real way.
And this habit doesn't need a teacher. It doesn't need a partner. It doesn't even need confidence. In fact, it works best when you don't feel confident yet. By the way, if this is your first time listening with us, welcome. I'm James.
And I'm Laura. And we're really happy you're here, especially if you're someone who understands English when listening, but freezes when it's time to speak. So let's talk honestly. Why does speaking English feel so hard for so many people? You study words, you watch videos, you understand conversations. But when you try to speak, your mind goes blank. Or your heart starts beating faster, or you think, what if I say it wrong?
That moment is very important because in that moment, your brain is not thinking about English. It's thinking about danger, about embarrassment, about being judged, even if no one is really judging you.
And that's why many learners wait for the right time to start speaking. They say, when my vocabulary is better, I'll speak. Or, when my grammar improves, I'll speak. But the truth is, speaking is not the reward at the end. Speaking is the path itself.
This is why today's topic matters so much. This simple habit is not about sounding fluent. It's about removing fear from your daily life, little by little. It's about teaching your brain that speaking English is normal, not scary.
So, let's get into it. The habit is this. Speak English out loud every day, even if no one is listening. Just a few minutes. About your real life, your real thoughts. Not memorized sentences, not textbook examples, just you talking.
When people hear this, they often say, but talking to myself feels strange. And yes, at first it does. But think about this. When you think in your head, you already talk to yourself. Gently, we're simply moving those thoughts out loud.
And there's a powerful reason this works. Your mouth, your tongue, and your brain need practice together. Reading and listening train your understanding. Speaking trains your courage and coordination. Seriously, without speaking, something is missing.
Let's break this down gently. Step 1 is choosing a small, safe time. Not an hour, not 30 minutes. Even 2 or 3 minutes is enough at the beginning. Maybe when you wake up, maybe while cooking, maybe when you're alone in your room.
Step 2 is choosing an easy topic. This is very important. Don't choose big topics like politics or business. Choose your day. Say things like, today I feel tired, or I need to go to work, or I'm thinking about my family. Simple thoughts are powerful.
And step 3 is the most important part. Don't stop to correct yourself. If you forget a word, pause. Say it in your language if you must, or explain it with easy words. The goal is flow, not perfection.
Many learners stop speaking the moment they make a mistake. But mistakes are not a signal to stop. They are a signal that learning is happening. One learner once said something beautiful to me. They said, when I stopped punishing myself for mistakes, my English started to breathe. I've never forgotten that.
That's such a good way to say it. English needs space to breathe, and daily speaking gives it that space.
Now, let's show how this sounds in real life. Imagine this is you, alone in your room. Okay, today is Monday. I wake up late. I feel a little stressed, but it's okay. I will drink some tea. That's it. That's practice.
Notice something important here. The sentences are not perfect. The grammar may not be perfect, but the message is clear, and clarity is communication.
Let's talk about common mistakes without any shame. One big mistake is waiting for motivation. Motivation comes after action, not before. If you wait to feel ready, you may wait forever.
Another mistake is comparing yourself to fluent speakers online. Remember, you're seeing their final result, not their daily practice. You don't see the quiet moments where they spoke badly, slowly, and with many errors.
And another common problem is being too serious. Speaking doesn't have to feel like an exam. You can smile. You can laugh. You can repeat yourself. This is your private space to grow.
There's usually a small emotional moment that happens after a few weeks of this habit. One day, you'll notice something. You'll speak a sentence, and it will come out without pain, without fear. And you'll think, oh, I did it.
That moment is not loud. It's quiet, but it's powerful because it changes how you see yourself. You stop thinking, I'm someone who is learning English, and you start thinking, I'm someone who speaks English.
And from there, using English in real life becomes easier. You start answering short questions. You start saying simple opinions. You don't feel brave yet, but you feel possible.
So today, we want to leave you with this idea. You don't need more pressure. You need a habit that feels safe. Speaking a little every day, out loud, is like opening a door slowly instead of breaking a wall.
And we'll go deeper into how to use this habit in daily situations and how to turn it into real conversations with people.
But for now, take a breath. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be.
When you're ready, we can move on together.
Would you like me to continue with part 2? Welcome back. If you're still with us, that already tells me something important about you. It tells me you're serious, but maybe still a little unsure. And that's okay. In this part, we're going to make this habit feel even more real, more usable, and more connected to your actual life.
Yes, because a habit only works if it fits into who you are, not who you think you should be. Many learners try to change everything at once. They change their schedule, their personality, even their voice. That's exhausting. This habit is the opposite. It fits into your normal day.
Let's talk about what happens in your brain when you speak English every day, even for a few minutes. At first, your brain says this is uncomfortable. That's normal. Your brain likes safety and familiarity. But when you repeat something daily, your brain slowly changes the message. It starts saying, okay, this is normal now.
And this is powerful because fear doesn't disappear by thinking. Fear disappears by experience. When you speak daily, your brain learns that nothing bad happens. No one laughs, no one punishes you, you survive. And that changes everything.
Now, a lot of learners ask, what should I talk about every day? And the answer is simple, but very important. Talk about what you already know. Your life is your best textbook.
For example, in the morning, you can talk about your plans. Today, I will work. I need to buy food. I hope the day is easy. In the evening, you can talk about what happened. I feel tired. My boss was kind. Traffic was bad.
And notice something here. These are the same topics native speakers talk about every day. Life is simple. We make it complicated because we think English must sound smart.
Another way to use this habit is to describe what you see. Look around and say, this room is small. The window is open. The weather looks cold. This trains your brain to connect English with reality, not translation.
Now let's talk about flow. Flow means continuing even when your English is not perfect. If you stop every time you make a mistake, you break the habit's power.
Here's a small trick. When you forget a word, say, I don't know the word, but, and explain it. For example, I don't know the word, but it's a thing you use in the kitchen. This is real communication skill.
Yes, native speakers do this too. They forget words, they change sentences. Calm fluency is not perfection. Fluency is movement.
Let's also talk about your voice. Many learners speak very quietly because they feel shy. But speaking louder actually helps your confidence. You don't need to shout, just let your voice exist.
This habit also helps your pronunciation, even if you don't study pronunciation. When you speak daily, your mouth becomes familiar with English sounds. Slowly, without pressure, things improve.
Now, let's be honest about a common emotional problem. Some days you won't want to speak. You'll feel tired, busy, or discouraged. On those days, do less. Even one sentence is enough.
Yes, consistency is more important than quantity. 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. Your brain trusts habits that come back.
There's another beautiful side effect of this habit. You start thinking in English naturally. Not all the time, but in small moments. And when that happens, speaking becomes easier because the sentence is already there.
I remember a learner who told me, one day, I dropped my keys and I said, "Oh no," in English without thinking. That moment made them smile all day. Those moments are signs of progress.
Let's talk about turning this private habit into public confidence. After some weeks, you'll notice that speaking to others feels less heavy. You don't freeze as much. You don't panic inside.
Because your brain already has proof. Proof that you can speak. Proof that English doesn't hurt you. Your brain knows that you can do it.
This is also a good time to gently add small challenges. For example, order food in English. Say hello to a coworker in English. Ask a simple question.
But remember, the habit stays private and safe. The outside world is just extra practice, not the main pressure.
Another common mistake learners make is stopping the habit when they feel good enough. But confidence is like a muscle. If you stop using it, it becomes weak again.
So instead of thinking, when will I stop? Think, how can this stay part of my life? Even fluent speakers talk to themselves. It's human.
There's a quiet, emotional moment many learners experience after some time. They stop saying, "I'm afraid to speak English," and they start saying, "Sometimes I feel nervous, but I can speak."
That difference matters because fear no longer controls you. It just visits sometimes.
And here's something very important. Your accent is not a problem. Your accent is proof that you learned another language. Don't try to erase it. Let it be part of you.
I want to share one simple, honest quote here. It's something I truly believe. Confidence is not loud English. Confidence is calm English that doesn't run away. You don't need to impress. You need to stay.
That's beautiful and very true.
So now, take a moment and imagine this. Imagine yourself 1 month from now. You speak English every day, just a little. You still make mistakes, but you don't feel stuck. You feel moving.
That feeling is the real goal, not perfection. Progress with peace.
In the next part, we'll talk about how to lock this habit into your daily routine, how to stay consistent long-term, and how to turn this simple habit into real speaking confidence with people.
And we'll also give you a gentle challenge that you can start today.
Are you ready for part 3? All right. This is the final part, and I want you to listen to it slowly. Not like a lesson, more like a quiet conversation at the end of a long day. Because what we're talking about now is not technique, it's sustainability. It's how this simple habit stays with you when motivation goes up and down.
Yes, because motivation is emotional. It changes every day. But habits are calmer. They stay even when you feel tired, bored, or unsure. And speaking English every day only works if it becomes something gentle, not heavy.
Let's talk about how to lock this habit into your daily life. The biggest secret is this. Connect English to something you already do every day. Don't create a new English time that feels like work.
For example, if you drink tea or coffee every morning, speak English while you drink it. If you walk somewhere, speak English while you walk. If you shower, describe your day out loud. English becomes part of life, not a separate task.
When habits are attached to real life, they survive busy days. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need a trigger, something that reminds your brain, oh yes, this is when I speak.
Another important part is being kind to yourself when you miss a day. Missing one day does not destroy the habit. Quitting because of guilt does.
Exactly. Many learners are very strict with themselves. They say, I failed, I stopped for 2 days. But learning doesn't work like that. The habit is not broken unless you decide it's broken.
So if you miss a day, you don't apologize. You don't restart dramatically. You simply speak again the next day, calmly.
Now let's talk about turning this habit into real confidence with people. because eventually you will speak with others. And when that time comes, something interesting happens.
You realize that conversations are not exams. People don't wait for perfect sentences. They wait for meaning. They listen for intention, not grammar.
And because you've been speaking every day, your mouth already knows how to move. Your brain already knows how to build simple sentences. You don't panic as much.
You might still feel nervous. That's normal. But nervous is different from frozen. Nervous still speaks.
One very practical thing you can do is prepare small, flexible sentences that feel natural to you. Things like, let me think, or I'm not sure how to say this, or what I mean is.
These sentences give you time to breathe, time to think, and they're very human. Native speakers use them all the time.
Another thing that helps is accepting pauses. Silence is not failure. Silence is thinking. You don't need to fill every second with words.
When you accept pauses, your voice becomes calmer, and calm English sounds confident, even if it's simple.
Let's talk about identity for a moment. Many learners see themselves as bad English speakers. They repeat that story for years. But habits slowly change identity.
Yes, when you speak every day, even alone, you collect evidence that you can speak, evidence that English is part of you.
And one day, without noticing exactly when, your inner sentence changes. You stop saying, I can't speak English. You start saying, I'm improving.
That sentence is powerful because it's true and because it allows growth.
I want to talk about one emotional trap before we finish. Some learners think confidence means never feeling fear. That's not true.
Confidence means feeling fear and speaking anyway, calmly, gently, without fighting yourself.
Even fluent speakers feel nervous sometimes, before meetings, before phone calls, before important conversations. The difference is, they don't see fear as a stop sign.
They see it as a feeling, and feelings pass.
This simple daily habit teaches you that lesson. Every time you speak, even when you don't feel like it, you teach your brain, I can do this while feeling unsure.
That lesson is bigger than English. It changes how you see challenges.
Now let's bring this into today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today.
Here's a gentle challenge for you. After this episode ends, speak English out loud for 2 minutes. Just 2. Talk about how you feel right now or what you're going to do next.
Don't record it. Don't correct it. Don't judge it. Just let it exist.
And tomorrow, do it again. Same place, same trigger, same kindness.
If you want, you can even say one sentence to someone, a greeting, a short comment, but only if it feels okay.
Remember, the habit is private first. Public speaking grows naturally from it.
I want to leave you with one last thought. Speaking English every day is not about becoming someone else. It's about allowing your real self to use another language.
Your thoughts are already intelligent. Your feelings already matter. English is just a tool to carry them.
You don't need to be fearless, you just need to be present.
And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay.
Thank you for staying with us through all 3 parts. That tells us something about you.
Yes, it tells us you're ready to move forward one small habit at a time.
We're proud of you, and we'll see you again.
Take care and speak today.